Hello there, Gemini, and welcome to your reading with me, Melissa Joy. We're going to explore, what was it called? Expecting the unexpected. That's right. I was setting out to do the zodiac reads for this week, and that title came on through, and there's a reading that goes with it. And I was like, okay, they're serious. They're legit. They're for real. They're like, this isn't just woo-woo up in your head. This is like woo-woo in your world. Taste and see. It's going to come real, going to come to fruition. So maybe they're wanting to stir up your appetite. Now for you, Gemini, in the meditation beforehand, what was it? It said, go over it again. That's what they had me jot down. And it's interesting because we have all this abundance going on here. Let me slide that back so you can see better. All this goldness self. We've got mending, come together, all that glitters, magical map shifter, and strength. Now, the interesting thing is, as we move through certain signs, they're rearranging some of the placements, and I find it quite interesting to see how that is going. So now we have this ignition going on with your strength. We have the world coming in as the magical map shifter. And I see like this kind of hobby Trojan horse trying to make its way up to crack open your fortune, okay? And that's what is going on here. So apparently for you, this is your crown. So they're talking about laying down the games. The Ten of Spheres is here, and it's about how do you step into the truth of who you are. So let's find out about that. Let's see what is going on here about you're apparently wanting to make your way and start in the center. Strategy. So, well, that would make sense because it had to do with the mind's frame, right? We have this fortune cookie looking thing up here. It is like a seed that is waiting to be cracked open. And as you can see, another card has made its way. Walking away. Making a plan for walking away. But you're following your delight here, even though you're taking a look back. It's like there's something specific that you're looking down to off to the side. But you're stepping out into the realm of cheerfulness, of cheeriness. And now the thing is where you were thinking you were stepping out into this dark, brooding, type of unknown, like tower card type thing. They're saying actually the invitation is to step out into delight. I'm not being silly about duh. I mean D-E-L-I-G-H-T, to step out into delight. There's a plan for you here, and it seems to be that you're already following the invitation, and the blossoms are beginning to set on the trees. Now, those are cherry blossoms, which are cheery blossoms. So cheerfulness is beginning to bud and awaken in here. And I would say the biggest challenge is to stop looking down, looking back, looking over, combing over, trying to gain more information, make sense of things or whatever. So maybe what's going on right now doesn't make any sense to you. Okay, Gemini, and maybe that's why they said go over it again. That could be some of the triggers, some of what's going on here, because like Taurus, it was about quitting, but when you get into it, that's what was sitting around clouding up their mind, okay? So in this case, resist the urge to go over it again, to reiterate it again, to make your point. If someone's not listening, let it be. If someone's not assisting, let it be. It's not about how well can you explain yourself, because they're saying in behind the scenes, that's how well you're draining yourself. Explaining is draining you, friend, okay? And you're jumping up into the come together. So you like, come to Jesus. I need to have that meeting of truth with myself, of acknowledging the reality. But they're talking about your truth, okay? That's what you're doing, is you're walking away from the old reality, this being limited. Maybe it seemed well kept, maybe it seemed provided for, but it was also a lure and a trap because it separated you from your true nature. It kept you pining and longing and looking out for something that had convinced you and caused you to believe that it wasn't for you. Now that's a fallacy. That's what I see going on here. And the coming together is this. Look at it. It's this two-headed serpent. Is things pulling you in opposing directions. A lot of the node energy trying to get you to go retrograde. And if you're a Gemini especially, oh my gosh, when you look at charts of Geminis, 444 by the way, there are numerous retrogrades there. So if the nodes begin to mess with your mind, it begins to take you into a tailspin really quick. And because you're often silent about it, it takes you down deep and dark and lonely in a way that should never have to occur. You're golden here. We're seeing that. Remember, this is on the coming together. Okay? This is about the delight, and whether this is with another lover or whatever, it's talking about with yourself, being able to kiss yourself, to do the James Brown, all right? But no, it's talking about getting on the good foot, with yourself, getting in your own good graces, getting in this delight, getting on board with how beautiful and divine this is. It's not scary at all. You're not locking the gate. You're not damning anyone out. You're simply moving forward. That's all you're doing here. Okay. And it's a good thing, because you were dying where you were. You were starving here. Things had split and fractured off into stuff that were only a fragment of what they once were. Okay. So that's what we're trying to do, is like do away with the nodes, because they're distracting you from your true self right here. Your radiance, your sun, your divinity, okay? And that holds a lot of power of change for you. And that takes us into this mending realm. See these beautiful children here working together, trying to restore the banner of love, the belief in love, the trust in love, that you have home, that you are desired, that you are desirable. And remember, it's not about, oh, do other people think I'm cool? Are they attracted to me? No, it has to do with knowing that you are desired, you are loved, you are included, you are part of the plan, of the big picture, of things feeling good, brightening up, coming together. Okay, friend? I love that for you, Gemini. And that begins to heal this old judgment. Maybe there were some scales sitting around your head, a little bit of the tit for a tat, a little bit of thinking life is fair or unfair, or how do I make it? How do I become good enough to deserve or to earn? Any of those tilting or teetering things that are conditional, okay? And they're wanting to move us out of the conditions, because the ancient ones are sitting up here. They've come alongside to safeguard your well-being, and not that like, no, like the passage of it. Like a woman who's supposed to relax when she's having contractions by doing the breath, right? It's getting tense, and so they just have you breathe. All right. So it's releasing that intensity. It's not how intensely can you do it. It's releasing the intensity, venting it off, kind of like tilting the lid on the rice pot. Okay. So let's back it up and move over here and take a look at what is being hidden about your heart and the world. And see that judgment card that was over here? Slicing and dicing and chopping yourself up into hamburger. Pink Panther, by the way. This thing, it's that old snarly thing, like thinking you need all these second chances, or other people's opinions, or other people's approval, or whatever else, or simply not opening up to others also. All right, that's the biggie here, because the magical map shifter went swing. That's why your wheel isn't spinning. There's been a holdup. There's been a holdup because there's a hold back. What are you holding back, Gemini? What is Gemini holding back that has caused this holdup? And you're talking about the compass. It's like a woman's compress. What's that thing? Her press powder, her compact. Okay. Like the Mayflower compact. What is all this? Okay, friends, you might want to go back and watch a few of the videos, especially like, I think that's Aquarius and Pisces showing up here. And in the midst, the judgment is in the middle of it. And these other cards are here. Now, for these all three to come together from these separate readings, and to understand, when I prepare my deck after a reading, I take a card, I split it open, and I put one card in here, and then I move down and I make another split, and I put another card in here, and they are nowhere near each other. That way, when they show up in the readings, it is your message. You're not having to live off of the crumbs of somebody else's experiences, okay? That's how I run the readings here, is for you to have fresh, vibrant, confirming, affirming information about who you are, so that you boldly step out into your truth. All right, friend? So it's interesting because the Hanged Man showed up in one, the King of Cups showed up in another, and the Ace of Wands as well. So we have the Hanged Man, the King of Cups, the Ace of Wands, and the thing up in here with it all is more judgment. So let me look, because it's which one of these is not like the other. This one's new on the scene. And being that we've had the serpent showing up here, okay, and being that we also had judgment showing up here. So give me a second to take a look at what this is. It's, all right. This judgment is coming in to cleanse and clear. This has to do with Aries, and Chiron is in Aries right now, which is dealing with everyone's wound. Wherever your Chiron is in your chart, it's activating it, and it's processing that visceral information. Imagine it being like Morse code, like your belly picks up on things and it's going beep, 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 trying to give information, or what we call feedback, to your mind, okay? And in this case, it's trying to resurrect. It's trying to move forward and have a new beginning by cleansing the external environment and shedding where it has touched you and marked you and shaped you. Shedding that mindset, all right? Shedding that layer, that fascial energetic layer, just like inside the eggshell. When you boil the eggs and you try and peel them, that little skin, that's fascia. So you know how strong it is, right? But when it's old, it goes so easily. It goes so well. And so they're wanting this to just pass off. Instead of passing judgment, to pass off judgment. To pass off judgment 1111. Okay, friend? Pass that off and allow this new goldness instinct to come up. The trust of yourself. Divine trust. Divine trust, not tainted trust. This is divine trust. That's why she's wearing the fuchsia. Fuchsia is an emanation of the goldenness self. It is like when you look at a candle flame and you'll see these other colors humming and breathing around it. Well, when we talk about our goldenness self, fuchsia is in there as well. All right. Your fuchsia is so bright, you got to wear shades. Whoop! Okay. We just go pop that right on in there. Okay. Well, that's what I see going in. Your fuchsia is so bright, you got to wear shades. Let's get you a new card and some crystal clear and moon card for you here. So don't be fooled by those illusions and those mindsets and the fact that you have to hold it down, keep it in, stuff it down, stay alone, be locked in, be sequestered, be separated, be cut off. Lies, lies, lies. And you certainly don't have to go over it one more time, because that's the judgment that has been wearing you out. And you should not be archidus. So, and you are shining and radiating like a new promise in your life, a new birth coming forward. And who birthed you? Yourself. All right. A new romantic cycle begins, and it is coming in with a friend. Show the world the real you. Let the world fall in love with you. Let the world fall in love with you. The true you, the real you. The balanced and liberated you, the goldenness. Fuchsia so bright, you gotta wear shades. You, friend, you're delightful. I'm so glad you're here. Hey, if you like something, you might consider like, sharing, and subscribing, clicking one or many of those buttons down below, because they all help us rise to the top here at the channel. Also, you can check out any of the videos, as we are the whole zodiac, and find out more about yourself. Glow yourself up, my friend. Also, stop back by and know that I love you. Leave your comments and compliments down below. You could also check out the description box if you would like a personal reading with me. All right, I love you. Bye.